All right, at 7:41, the end of the year is getting closer, and there are a lot of things that you should consider financially, whether you realize it or not, before January hits, and that's why Brian Benham's here with us from the Benham Advisory Group to talk about that, kind of smart planning for the new year.
It's the time of the year, isn't it, Drew?
Yeah.
At this time of the year, we often think about just, New Year's Eve parties and holidays and all those things, but I want people to start thinking about taxes.
Okay.
You got to do it.
We have to.
You got to do it.
I'm thinking about budgeting for the Christmas gifts, and I probably should have been thinking about that months ago.
There you go. I'm surprised you use the word budget. We talk about budget all the time, too. But, the Internal Revenue Code book is full of exclusions, exemptions, deductions, and credits. And for us to be able to maximize or to help eliminate or reduce taxes for you, you need to start planning now. So we always encourage people to start putting their receipts together, all the deductions, that type of thing. And also, you might want to talk to your tax preparer about doing a dry run or a mock tax return. And, at this time of the year, my office does these all the time. And we might find that, that 401k that you can contribute up to $18,000, if you haven't done that, we might show you that if you throw in $2,000 or $3,000 extra, we might pull you into a lower tax bracket. So there's neat things you can do there.
Things you can do to save yourself some money, possibly, and save yourself stress, just getting to work on these things in advance.
The biggest thing we find as far as mistakes are those people that wait till the last minute to throw things together. So if you start organizing now, hey, Drew, your tax return's only as good as the information you put in there.
There you go.
So put as much time and effort into it now, and I'm sure you'll be in a better position the first of the year.
Speaking of preparing in advance, we can really think of the whole year as far as our finances, right? Starting now. Starting
now, and that comes back to that word budget we just talked about. At this time of the year, start looking at what you did this past year. I'm sure we all have our budget, I hope, set up for next year.
I hope.
You hope. But take a look at what you've done this year and look at some things that you might be able to eliminate. Over the weekend, I was just looking at my cable package and HBO, and then I started looking at what we added, Netflix and Amazon, all this other stuff, and sometimes they overlap. Even if you could save $40 or $50 a month there and say you're a 30-year-old, that's a big deal over your lifetime.
Absolutely. And you also say maybe consider switching to a Roth IRA.
That's a big question. The Roth IRA could be a great advantage, and we're really not on the tax subject now, because if you do a Roth, you're not going to get a tax advantage, but long-term, all that growth, including the money you put in, is going to come out tax-free. So Roth could be a great opportunity for you.
Okay. What about checking our insurance?
Check your life insurance. Make sure those beneficiaries are correct. That's one of the most important things I want people to start with. Make sure your beneficiaries are correct. And then how much do you have and how much do you need? Some people say 10 to 15 times your annual salary. I don't know if that's the number, but sit down with your financial professional and see what your needs might be, and then also you might use it as a tool to bless your family. So that could be an opportunity on life insurance.
Okay. Always great advice from Brian Benham, keeping us on track with finances and on the calendar as well, and just timing all of
Got to keep an eye on it, Drew. Got to keep an eye on it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming
Always a
in.
pleasure to be here.
Always happy to have you. Marcus, we're going to send it to you.